Arne Engels was on the back page of today's Record Sport, and Record Sport Online, more or less saying that he is very keen to repay Celtic. He loves it in Scotland, he loves Glasgow, his parents love it here, and what have you. But I was just curious to get your guys' take on his first season in Scotland. We got quite a big response to it in the comments section on Record Sport's social media channels. But Arne Engels, Keith, has he lived up to his record-breaking price tag?
No, he's been solid, but not spectacular. Plenty of room for improvement. And I think he'll accept that and acknowledges it himself. He's still a young boy. It's been a season now. He's had his first season, and I think he's been very, very good at times in games. But I think what you're looking for is to bring him on to the next level. For him, Celtic have brought him in, and they've given him the opportunities. We were talking about with Adam Eade. Adam Eade's got an opportunity there to train with these guys, see what the standard is, familiarise yourself with it, and then adapt it and match what these guys are putting into it. And I get the impression with Arne Engels is that he's looking, and he'll be looking at McGregor's and all that. He's in there as the guy in 5 years' time to be taking the same sort of weight in his shoulders as the experienced campaigners just now. That's not to say, because Brendan Rodgers has a habit of fast-tracking these things, it's not to say that next season you don't see a significant difference in terms of consistency levels. Because I think that's the key word at Celtic.
Yeah.
It's not just being a good player or having a good game, 1 in 3.
It's every week.
It's about every week you've got to be a Callum McGregor, an 8, 9 out of 10. And that can take a little bit of getting used to. I think you'll see a difference in him and an improvement in him next season. But that's not to say that I think he's been poor, because I don't. He's just not been Callum McGregor. And very few are.
I was going to say not many players are. Fraser, before I bring you in on it, we've had a lot of comments on this, so let me run through a few of them. Mark says Engels is young in his first season. Next season, with a pre-season under his belt, more experience, he will blossom. Gianni also backs him up, saying maybe he needs a pre-season. Hoopsaholic says his stats are better than O'Reilly's first season and a half. What he's given is someone who can deliver a ball, and we're a threat from set pieces again. And let me just run through a couple more of these. David McCarry says, even if he isn't worth 11 million, if the lad was to move on, I'm sure Celtic recruit most of that, and he would leave with a championship medal and probably a domestic treble. And this one from John Doonan, some perspective on Engels. Callum McGregor was getting loaned out to Notts County at his age, and he cost €11 million, not £11 million, which is buttons in European football nowadays. The guy he replaced went for nearly 3 times that. He's still a bit raw and inconsistent, still got lots of learning to do, but he's doing well enough to be in the team at the moment. I think that's probably...
I think that's perfectly fair. I mean, and by the way, he does have a lot of learning to do, but what a great school to go to.
Aye.
He's in the right place for learning, with a manager who makes a habit of making players better, but also, I'm telling you now, and I keep coming back to it, and I know we were talking about across the city and Rangers, and I've made this point that I believe that it's crucial for the success. These clubs are so unique, and the environment that they occupy is so unique. I genuinely believe you need standard setters, people who teach others what it's all about here, what's going to be required of you. And Celtic have had that, when you think about it, down through the years, whether it's on the pitch, guys like Scott Brown, Callum McGregor steps up, James Forrest is still there. I mean, you can't look anywhere around Lennoxtown without seeing guys with more bling than...
That have been and done it.
Aye.
And it's what Rangers have probably lacked.
It's real winners everywhere you look. And these are the guys, the standard setters. And that's the education that guys like Arne Engels will get. That's the real education. How do I make the best of myself? How do I become the most successful Celtic player that I can be? Oh, look, I'll maybe just watch what he's doing over there. I mean, Kieran Tierney did it with Scott Brown. You know, he looked at him, Scott Brown went out, it was snowing, training, short sleeve t-shirt on, Kieran Tierney did the same. These guys are all guys that are to be looked up to and learned from. And you've got a manager who knows everything about everything as well.
Aye.
So he's in a perfect environment to better himself in it, and I think he's got all the tools. You can see, as a gifted, technical football player, the tools are all there. He's got athleticism. He can get around the park.
He's a big boy, aye.
Big boy. Aye. So all the attributes are there, and he's just in the perfect place to make the most of that and to learn from the guys all around about him. And I think that's going to be the kind of thing that will really take him on to the next level next season.
The comments weren't all positive though, Fraser. Martin McDonald says, Engels and Ida have to the biggest waste of £20+ million in Scottish transfer history, both worth £2-3 million max. Personally, I mean, we've talked about Ida a lot recently, but on Engels, I think Engels has been, anytime I've seen him, he's been really good. He looks like a really decent.
He looks like a work in progress for me.
Okay, well, that's fair enough. But I think there's definitely been games where I've thought he looks like a Rolls Royce. Like really classy player.
Well, Swanee's a good judge of player, Craig Swan, and he said on his first look at Engels, that's exactly, I think, the words that he used. I've not seen enough from him where I've been wowed by him. I've not been wowed. I've been impressed without being wowed. I expect that the wow might
Still
be somewhere in the pipeline.
Aye, fair enough. Fraser, your thoughts on him?
No, it's really hard to disagree with any of what you've said there. It's got the attributes that Keith mentioned, especially that physicality and athleticism that's built for Scottish football. Great. He also has a brilliant grasp of the English language, speaks it fluently, which is massive for a young kid moving over. And he is a young kid. That's the thing. As Keith said, young guy, never going to hit the ground running at 100 miles per hour. But I think he's had enough good games. He's shown enough of the quality he does have to get pass marks for this season. And look, see if he can do enough to get those pass marks, to win a treble, which he probably will, and then to leave room to be better next season. Nothing wrong with that. We just seem to be in such a rush for players to hit top level, but at 21-year-old, for managers to hit the absolute peak of their powers months after joining a club. Sometimes it takes time in football. For Arne Engels, I think he's done enough this season to show why Celtic spent that money on him. I think the second season syndrome can sometimes be a bad thing for players, but at Celtic it seems to be a good thing. I think Nicholas Kuhn, certainly for the majority of this season, has shown that with time he became a better player. And I properly expect the same for Arne Engels next season. And as Keith said, he's got Callum McGregor, Brendan Rodgers, experience through that Celtic team. He probably can't fail to become a better player. And then it just comes down to attitude.